I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. Estée Lauder. And my friends, we ask you to work 10 to 15 minutes each and every day charting these markets. Let's start first with the S&P 500. We see stocks are down, gold is down, bonds and Bitcoin are up. We see the S&P down a little bit, 0.55%. And as we look at this week starting off, we talked about the inherent weakness here. If we zoom in to what's going on, you can see where our candle is tiny. It has a little bit of movement on the bottom, a little bit of movement on the top. It's just sitting right there on that weekly trend line, not committing either way. We can see that we have negative volume here. That means, of course, that the opening was lower than the prior close. That's where we get these red candles, the way we have our volume chart set up. And as we watch, we just see a good bit of indecision here, just not committing to moving up. So we're keeping our eye on things. We are watching it. We are paying close attention to which way it's going to go, and it's just not committed yet. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100. What do we see here on the weekly chart, zooming into it? Again, you can see that the candle is better. It was down more for the day. We're green on the volume. Don't have a lot of volume. Again, we're only 2 days into a 5-day candle. But as you look at it, it is a more decent candle than the S&P when we look at the NASDAQ 100. Now, as we go back to the S&P and we look at where we are on the other time frames, the 2-day and the half-day, you can see we're just right there on that weekly trend line, just hanging on it, figuring out which way to go. Is it going to devolve or is it going to take off? We don't know. Here's the NASDAQ 100. It is a little further above on both the half-day and the 2-day chart. You can see price movement is above that weekly trend line. As we go to 20-year bonds, they're up a little bit for the day, 0.58%. But again, let's zoom into that weekly chart. You can see that it's not made the low of last week, not even close to the low back on the week beginning August the 21st. But again, we do have a red down candle forming, so we will pay attention. But again, lackluster in all this stuff. Look at that, just sideways slide for days. So we're waiting for these markets to commit some catalyst to cause them to start moving. Gold, we can see we're now on the weekly chart. Gold has just dropped through that attempt at an up movement and then just sort of burning that off. We were not excited once things bottomed out for it really gaining any energy. And of course, it didn't. It started off, then sort of died, and now is sort of dying further. Now, as we look at where we are, you can see on the half-day chart how it moved down through it, tried to pop up a little, and now has just sort of crashed again. That 2-day chart just moved right through that weekly trend line. Same on the weekly. So gold just not getting any energy to move up. Lastly, Bitcoin rebounding today, 4.43%. Again, popped up in the morning, burning some of that off in the afternoon, back below the weekly trend line on the half-day chart. A big doji we can see from the Monday, Tuesday 2-day candle, because, of course, we had the down move on Monday and the up move on Tuesday. Just gave us lots of indecision. Still below that weekly trend line. We'll see if indeed Bitcoin, if this was just sort of like we saw here when Bitcoin popped up for a day and moved back over. Could be what's happening. We don't know. We'll pay close attention. That's where we are on Tuesday as we move into Wednesday. So great to have you with us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.